Hey everybody, welcome back to Turn of the Century Games. I'm Mike. Today, got a special treat for you guys. I got Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. So this game came out in 1998. It was actually the very first two-disc game that I had. You guys will notice disc 1 is missing here, but still have the manual and everything. Nice Silent Hill advertisement on the back there. And disc number 2 is in there as well. Already got disc number 1 loaded up into my PlayStation 3 here. So let's go ahead and switch over to the PlayStation. And we'll go ahead and we'll get started with this. So this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. This game, like I said, came out in '98. It was the first Metal Gear. It was the first official Metal Gear game released in the United States. There was Metal Gear and there was Snake's Revenge on the NES back sometime in the late '80s, early '90s on the NES. And those two games were ports made by a company called Ultra, and they had no affiliation with Konami at the time that they were released. Excuse me. So this was actually the first Metal Gear game that was produced by Hideo Kojima and his team to make it to the US, North America in general. The original two games developed by Kojima and his team came out in 1987 and 1989, respectively, on MSX home computers in Japan. They were later translated into English and released in the European region, but never made their way stateside until about 2005 as part of the Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence package.
The nuclear weapons disposal facility on Shadow Moses Island in Alaska's Fox Archipelago was attacked and captured by next-generation Special Forces, being led by members of Foxhound. They're demanding that the government turn over the remains of Big Boss, and they say that if their demands are not met within 24 hours, they'll launch a nuclear weapon. You'll have two mission objectives. First, you're to rescue DARPA Chief Donald Anderson and the president of Armstech, Kenneth Baker. Both are being held as hostages. Secondly, you're to investigate whether or not the terrorists have the ability to make a nuclear strike and stop them if they do.
What's the insertion method?
We'll approach the disposal facility by sub.
And then?
We'll launch a one-man SDV. After the SDV gets as close as it can, dispose of it. From there on, you'll have to swim. High-tech Special Forces Unit FOXHOUND. Your former unit, and one that I was a commander of.
So they're still around.
There are 6 members of Foxhound involved in this terrorist activity. Psycho Mattis, with his powerful psychic abilities. Sniper Wolf, the beautiful and deadly sharpshooter. Decoy Octopus, master of disguise. Vulcan Raven, giant and shaman. And Revolver Ocelot, specialist in interrogation and a formidable gunfighter. And finally, in charge of them, Foxhound squad leader, Liquid Snake.
Liquid Snake.
The man with the same codename as you. The nuclear weapons disposal facility covers the whole island. I'll instruct you by codec after you reach your target.
Anyone going with me?
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
Weapons and equipment OSP?
Yes, this is a top-secret black op. Don't expect any official support.
Okay, so unlike normal playthroughs that I would usually do on the channel, where there's a lot of stuff going, like Mario games and stuff like that, where I comment a lot. During all the cutscenes, I will remain quiet because this is more intended to be a long play style video. We're going to start up a new game. And just because it's been a few years, we'll go ahead and we'll start it on normal. Now, this marks the 4th time I've attempted to record this week. The first time, I couldn't do it because my controller was giving me all kinds of issues. So if you guys have a moment, go ahead and click that little box up there above my head in the corner of the screen, and you'll be able to go to the channel and watch a video where I clean and repair this exact controller. The other 3 times that I tried to record, I had audio issues where my game audio was way too loud and you couldn't hear me over the game.
Stay alert. He'll be through here. I know it. I'm going to swat down a couple of bothersome flies.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's the situation, Snake?
Looks like the elevator in the back is the only way up.
Just as I expected. You'll have to take the elevator to the surface. But make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so as we heard from Colonel Campbell just there, name of the game here in Metal Gear Solid is Stealth. So while you do have the ability to take on these enemy guards, you'll notice that our life gauge there is rather limited. 2 or 3 good shots from enemy soldiers is all it takes to kill Snake. So you're really pushing to not get caught, like, at all. And there's a variety of ways that you can do that. The most common of which is just hiding around corners and such. Of course, Snake also has the ability to, as you saw at the beginning there when we came up out of the water, I did crawl underneath that filtration unit, so that's always an option, is to go ahead and crawl into various places. We're gonna run up here by this forklift where there is yet another ration. I'm going to press against this forklift. At this point, we just gotta wait for this elevator to come back down. There's no button to retrieve the elevator. And an interesting thing about this game is that depending on where you position yourself and depending on where you position yourself, enemy guards may come down into different areas and inspect different parts of the area. So you'll notice now that there's this guard who's kind of patrolling around the forklift that I'm hiding by. Normally he just sticks to his route and patrols around those crates, but not the case when we get up to that point. Guards' routes will also change if you kill or knock out a guard. So they are very adaptive. Kojima. Metal Gear Solid. So for those of you that don't know the story of Hideo Kojima, he's really had a very fascinating life, and his start in the video game industry is very, very interesting. There's a couple different videos on YouTube that kind of document it. Highly recommend checking those out if you guys have the chance, or if you enjoy this game as we play through it, just to kind of see where Kojima came from and what inspired his take on video games.
It's Snake. I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Take it easy, I'm grateful. If it weren't for your suit and your shot, I would have turned into a popsicle out there.
An anti-freezing peptide, Snake. All of the genome soldiers in this exercise are using it.
I see. I'm relieved to hear that. Already tested, huh? By the way, how's the diversionary operation going?
2 F-16s just took off from Galena and are headed your way. The terrorist radar should have already picked them up.
Behind D. Colonel, what's a Russian gunship doing here?
I have no idea.
My favorite lines.
Looks like our little diversion got their attention. Now's your best chance to slip in unnoticed. There are only 18 hours left until their deadline. You've got to hurry.
Wow, you must be crazy to fly a hind in this kind of weather.
Who's that?
Oh, sorry. I haven't introduced you to yet. This is Mei Ling. She was assigned to us as our visual and data processing specialist. She designed your codec, as well as your Soliton radar system. Contact her if you have any questions about either of them.
Nice to meet you, Snake. It's an honor to speak to a living legend like yourself. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just didn't expect a world-class designer of military technology to be so cute.
You're just flattering me.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know I won't be bored for the next 18 hours.
Come on. I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. But I'm surprised. You're very frank for a trained killer.
Looks like we both have a lot to learn about each other.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about the man behind the legend. But first, let me explain about your Soliton radar system.
Okay, so here we get our
The bright dot in the
tutorial
middle
on how to
is
use the
Snake.
radar.
The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Be careful, Snake. The genome soldiers have highly developed senses of hearing and vision due to their gene therapy. Make sure you don't let them see you.
First, I want you to infiltrate the disposal site and look for the DARPA chief.
The DARPA chief was injected with the same GPS transmitting nanomachines as you. He should appear on your radar as a green dot.
Get whatever information you can from him about the terrorists. If he's alive, that is.
Snake, your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it.
Yes, it gets jammed easily, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful.
We'll be monitoring your movements by radar, so contact us by codec anytime you want.
Got it. I'll call if I'm feeling lonely.
Seriously, Snake, we're here to back you up, so call if you need some information or advice. I'm also in charge of your mission data. Contact me if you want me to record your current status. My frequency is 140.96. It's a dedicated frequency for saving data. Don't forget it.
Remember, except for your binoculars, you're naked. You need to arm yourself with whatever weapons you can find.
I remember. First, I'm strip searched by Dr. Naomi here, and then all my weapons are taken away. Imagine yourself put in that position.
Well, if you make it back in one piece, maybe I'll let you do a strip search on me.
I'll hold you to that, Doctor. By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but I did manage to smuggle out my smokes.
How did you do that?
In my stomach. Thanks to the shot you gave me that suppressed my stomach acids.
Cigarettes? How are those going to help you?
You never know.
If you want to get in, there's the front door. It's the fastest way, but there's too much risk of being spotted by the enemy.
I can't just knock on the door and ask them to let me in. There's one sentry on the left and one on the right. They're armed with 5.56ers and pineapples.
What about the air duct near the door? There should also be a duct on the second floor.
I can't see it from here.
Okay, second floor.
I'll
duct,
let
I
you
think.
decide the best COA. I'm counting on you, Snake.
Yeah. So the duct on the second floor is the one we're going to go for. First things first, we're going to come over here to the helipad. And we're going to wait for these searchlights to move into a certain pattern. We don't care about that item box in the middle of the helipad. What I care about is getting to that ramp on the left-hand side. So I think it's the next cycle, not this one. Fairly certain it's this one. I gotta really watch it. Alright, so after this light moves, there we go. Alright, we're gonna move down here into this room. I almost got caught by that searchlight, actually.
A surveillance camera?
Alright. So to take care of the surveillance camera, what we're going to do is we're going to just press up against this box here. Move to the left. Wait for it to move back. Collect this item. We'll shimmy our way back across these crates. And run back out. Now I gotta locate the guard. That guard's sleeping, so I don't care about him. The guard that I care about is that guy. Now he should go, yep, to the front of the truck, which is where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna climb into the truck. I'm actually going to grab this SOCOM pistol. Now he should go. Yeah, he's gonna move back up, so I'm gonna move this way. And I'm gonna be very careful about sneaking under this camera. There's a guard at the top of the stairs there. I do need to watch for him. Okay. duct is right here. Climb into this duct, that'll get us into the building. Alright, so 2 of probably the hardest areas of the game are done at this point. Not getting caught in the freight dock is
Snake,
important.
this is McDonald
We
Miller.
got a mandatory
It's been
call
a
here.
long time.
Master, what are you doing here?
I quit being a drill instructor, so I moved out here for some peace and quiet. I'm in retirement, just like you. Once in a while, I still help train the Alaskan Scouts.
Passing on the skills to a new generation, huh?
Campbell told me about the situation here. I thought I might be of some use.
There's no one I'd rather have in a foxhole than you.
Well, I know lots about survival in a harsh environment. I've lived in Alaska longer than you, so call me if you have any questions about the flora or fauna out here. My frequency is 141.80.
Okay. So one cool thing this game lets you do. It's not necessarily useful for anything, but it's a neat little feature. We'll be able to see it here in a minute. This great triggers another mandatory cutscene.
I moved the DARPA chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
So the neat thing that this game kind of lets you do. Let's see, we gotta go this direction. As soon as I find another grate on the side here. So like these grates here on the side, you can like turn towards them and then press first person view mode and you can kind of look through them. Kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect in later rooms, but it's not overly useful. It's just kind of a neat little thing that they added. Considering these vents are loaded in separately from the rest of the area. And how many rations do I have? Okay, I have 2 rations. So this box directly in front of us is actually a ration as well. I'm not going to answer that call because I know how to use a ladder. This ladder will take us down onto that catwalk that we just saw though, and we're immediately going to move left for some chaff grenades. We're getting a call from Colonel Campbell, so let's take it.
Use the elevator to change floors. There should be a cargo elevator that you can take down somewhere around there. Try to find it.
Alright, so now what we're concerned with is this new security cam. As soon as it turns, we'll hide in its blind spot. Downwards to this area. Now there's a camera in here as well, but there's also a box to the south of it that we want. So again, we'll wait for the camera to move. Run and hide in its blind spot. Wait for it to turn again. Collect our box. Hide in the blind spot again. And take off. Alright, so we got our thermal goggles already, which is fantastic. That's a very important pickup for early in the game. Now, there's a couple of doors up here on the catwalk. Notably that one over there, which has the big number 2 on it. And this one here, which has the number 1 on it, which we will come back to and get later. You do need access cards to get into them, which we don't have any just yet. There, I didn't make it to the yeah, it's important that you make it to the to the stairs there quickly enough, otherwise we get caught by that camera. And if you don't make it on that first cycle, making it back past these guards becomes a little bit of a headache. The nice thing about Metal Gear is, unlike... No, that's convenient. It came the first time that I pressed it. I was just going to say, unlike in real life, you can hit that elevator button twice and the elevator will instantly show up. Sometimes you hit the button, you gotta wait a few seconds, and that can make or break you.
Look at the radar. It's picking up the DARPA chief. He's the green dot. Hurry and rescue him.
So we can see the green dot there on the radar. That is showing the location of the DARPA chief. And I can't get in that door because, again, I don't have the access card. Yes, I know how to climb a ladder. It's the circle button. It's the same button that causes me to do a punching action. Okay, so let's go up the elevator. Go up the vent shaft here. There is a jog here off to the left that we can go down. Check down this grate.
Oh, kinda damn cold. I hate Alaska. Boy, oh boy, that woman is built all right.
Okay, so that's the second time that we've had a woman being referenced. We'll pick up some ammunition here for our SOCOM Mark 23 pistol. Excuse me. Neat thing about this game, that's honestly it's the first time that I'd ever remember seeing it in a game, was a quick equip, quick unequip button. So by tapping L1 or R1, you can actually unequip your items or re-equip your last item, or unequip and re-equip your last weapon. Funny thing about it is, doing it with weapons, if you unequip and then re-equip really quick, it actually reloads your weapon. So, acts as a quick reload.
Is that a woman? Not him.
Okay. Proceed one more vent cover over. Yes, Campbell, I know. Just look down the vent cover. There we go.
Who's that?
I'm here to save you. You're the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, right?
You here to save me, huh? What's your outfit?
I'm the pawn they sent here to save your worthless butt.
Really? It's true. You don't look like one of them. In that case, hurry up and get me out of here.
Slow down. Don't worry. First, I want some information about the terrorists.
The terrorists?
Do they really have the ability to launch a nuke?
What are you talking about?
The terrorists are threatening the White House. They say if they don't accede to their demands, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
Sweet Jesus.
Is it possible?
It's possible. They could launch a nuke.
How do they plan to launch? I thought this place was just for keeping the dismantled warheads. They shouldn't have access to a missile.
What I'm about to tell you is classified information. Okay? We were conducting exercises with a new type of experimental weapon. A weapon that will change the world.
What?
A weapon with the ability to launch a nuclear attack from any place on the face of the Earth. A nuclear-equipped walking battle tank.
Metal Gear. It can't be.
You knew? Metal Gear is one of the most secret black projects. How did you know that?
We've had a couple of run-ins in the past. So that's the reason you were here at this disposal site?
Why else would I come to a godforsaken place like this?
I had heard the Metal Gear project was scrapped.
On the contrary, it's grown into a huge joint project between ArmsTech and ourselves. We were going to use this exercise as raw data and then proceed to mass production. If it hadn't been for the revolution.
Revolution?
Rex has fallen into the hands of terrorists.
Rex?
Metal Gear Rex. The code name for the new Metal Gear prototype. They're probably already finished arming the warhead they plan to use with Rex. These guys are pros. They're all experienced in handling and equipping weapons.
Hey! Shut up in there, will ya?
But I thought that all nuclear warheads were equipped with safety measures. Some kind of detonation code that you have to input.
Oh, you mean PAL? Yes, of course, there is a PAL. It's set up so that you need to input 2 different passwords in order to launch the device.
There are 2 passwords?
Yes, Baker knows one, and I know one.
Baker? The president of ArmsTech?
That's right. Each of us needs to input our password, or there can be no launch. But they found out my password.
You talked?
Psycho Mantis can read people's minds. You can't resist.
Psycho Mantis?
One of the members of Foxhound. He has psychic powers.
This is bad.
It's just a matter of time before they get Baker's too.
If they find out Baker's password...
Yes, they'll be able to launch a nuke anytime. But there is a way to stop the launch.
What?
The card keys.
Card keys?
They were designed by ArmsTech, the system developers, as an emergency override. Even without the passwords, you can just insert the card keys and engage the safety lock.
And if I do that?
Yes. You can stop the launch.
That card key.
So where are the keys?
Baker should have them. Listen, you need 3 card keys. There are 3 different slots to put them in. You need to insert a card into each one of them.
Okay, 3 card keys. Do you know where they might be keeping Baker?
Somewhere in the 2nd floor basement.
2nd floor basement?
I heard the guards say they moved him to an area that has a lot of electronic jamming.
Any other clues?
Yes, they cemented over the entrances, but didn't have enough time to paint them. Why don't you look for the areas where the walls are a different color? Here, take this. It's my ID card. It'll open any level 1 security door. It's called a PAN card. It works together with your body's own electrical field.
Personal area network, huh?
It transmits data using the salts in your body as the transmission medium. As you approach the door's security devices, they'll read the data stored in the card.
And the doors will open automatically. Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
You haven't heard any other way to disarm the PAL, have you? From your bosses or anyone?
No.
Are you sure you haven't heard anything?
I just said no.
So does the White House plan to give in to the terrorists' demands?
That's their problem. It has nothing to do with my orders.
But what about the Pentagon?
Pentagon? What is it?
Hey, what happened?
Naomi, the chief. What happened?
I don't know. It looked like a heart attack, but...
A heart attack? No.
Colonel, are you hiding something from me?
Absolutely not. Snake, you've got to understand. This op is security level red. You need the highest security clearance to get access to the complete file.
You want me to believe that you're in charge of this op, but you don't have complete access to the file?
I told you, the Secretary of Defense is in operational control. I'm just here as your support. Snake, we don't have time to debate. Get out of there and find President Baker.
So at this point, I have no way out of the cell. I'm just gonna wait here for a few seconds. Okay.
Don't move! So you killed the chief, you bastard! Liquid? No, you're not. Don't move!
Is this the first time you ever pointed a gun at a person? Your hands are shaking. Can you shoot me, rookie?
Careful, I'm no rookie.
Liar. That nervous glance, that scared look in your eyes. They're rookies' eyes if I ever saw them. You've never shot a person, am I right?
You
Can't
talk
tell
too
I've
much.
played this game
You
just a
haven't even taken
little
the
too
safety off,
much.
rookie.
Just a
told you I'm
little
no
too
rookie.
much.
You're not one of them, are you?
Open that door. You've got a card, don't you?
Why?
So we can get the hell out of here.
Looks like we'll be a little delayed.
Alright, so here's our first boss fight of the game.
What are you doing? Don't think! Shoot! What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
So we could let the female soldier go ahead and take these guys out. It's much easier though if we just do it for her. Okay, cool. Didn't have to use any rations. I think I only got hit once.
Thanks for the help.
Wait! Who are you?
You fool! You've killed him!
I'm sorry, sir.
His mental shielding was very strong. I could not dive into his mind.
Now we'll never get that detonation code.
Boss, I have a good idea. Good girl. Just like that. Naomi, I just had some kind of hallucination. Is it from the nanomachines?
No, Snake. The nanomachines are functioning properly.
So what was it?
It must have been psychometric interference coming from Psycho Mantis, Foxhound's psychic. Think of it as a mental feedback loop.
So that was Mantis.
Okay, so that is going to wrap the first boss fight. Let's go ahead and call up Mei Ling here so we can save our game.
What can I do for you, Snake?
We'll go ahead and we'll save over this one here. One of my failed attempts from earlier in the week.
Snake, remember what the Gaul said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China, but I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
Okay, so that is going to wrap up part number 1 for us, guys. I really hope that y'all have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you guys get the bell on so you get all notifications for all of our future videos. And until next time, guys, I'm Mike. This is Turn of the Century Games. I hope y'all have a great day.